Welcome back to the channel. This video is different than any video that I have made. And it's been a long time coming because I had a reading with a client today. And within that reading, we discussed the topic of coming off of medication. And this has been a big part of my journey. And I've shared this in other pieces that I have done through my Instagram, through my TikTok, but I've never actually talked about it in length here. And I've known that I've wanted to for a while. My journey first going on antidepressants and then coming off of antidepressants, because I always knew I was going to come off. I really do believe that medication can have such an important role in our lives when we need it. I am so grateful that I was able to go on medication, to go on antidepressants, because I really needed to in order to heal deeper pieces. But I also believe that medication is not the answer in terms of us being on it. Most of us, I think it can depend on the situation. But for a lot of us, I think that it's not the answer for our entire lives. I don't feel like we should have to be on it for our entire lives, especially antidepressants. But I do feel like it has an important role and it can be so helpful. And so my intention here with this video is to, one, share with you my journey, two, talk about some tools that really helped me along the way and also really helped in coming off of my medication and still help to this day. And three, give you potentially some hope on your own journey if you are on medication and want to get off of it, or if you're thinking about going on medication, to show you that you don't have to always be on it, but that it's okay if you do go on it. You know, we all have our own journeys here. And I truly believe that there is never a wrong decision that we make for ourselves. All of it is part of the learning and the expansion we're meant to experience on this soul journey. It was a really, really hard decision to go on antidepressants 2.5 years ago. There have been a few times in my life where I've had to make a really, really hard decision, but I have known intuitively that it was the right decision that I needed to make. One was leaving my job as a teacher, as a high school teacher, to grow my business full time. It was a really hard decision because I loved teaching, and I still do love teaching. It's part of what I do in a lot of ways. But I loved the relationships with the kids, you know, but I knew that that part of my chapter was complete. Two, the separation of my marriage. I mean, I don't need to go into detail about why that would be a hard one, especially with the kids, and not knowing what that was going to look like, but knowing deep in my soul that that was the right decision on all of our journeys. Three, getting on medication, going on antidepressants. And I made this decision 2.5 years ago when it had been almost a year since I had separated from my marriage, and I really hit this hard time in my life where I had been going. I was learning how to become a single mom. I was building my business and it was doing well, but I got to this point where I hit a massive low. My nervous system was at such a high state of fight flight, and I didn't actually have this awareness. I didn't know I was functioning at that place until I hit this massive low where I was forced to just completely shut down because I was so overwhelmed. My nervous system was so overwhelmed, and thus began. It was it was kind of the end of spring going into the summer 2.5 years ago, where one, I realized I had to go on antidepressants to bring myself to a baseline because I was just so overwhelmed. And two, I was introduced to somatic work, life-changing. And this is why I've become, this is why I got certified in somatic work and parts work, is because it changed my life so much. I also did an episode on somatic work. So if you're interested in that, I go into great detail on that piece on my YouTube. So you can catch that there. And so I went on the medication, and it was one of the hardest decisions of my life, because up until that point, I had been doing all the healing. I had been doing it. And I'd always thought to myself, if I have to go on antidepressants, I think there was a part of me that felt like it made me weak. It made me think, oh, I can't do this. I have to take medication. But no, this other part of me started to come through of like, no, the medication's actually going to supplement what we're already doing. And intuitively, I just knew I had to do it. And what I then did for the next 2 years was the medication allowed me to reach a baseline in order for me to go so much deeper in my healing with the somatic work. Because I went to some really deep places. And what the medication allowed me to do was reach an energetic baseline in my nervous system in order for me to go even deeper into my trauma. Because when we go in and when we do healing work, it can be dysregulating. And the medication really helped me with that. And so for a couple of years, I was taking my medication, but I was also doing really deep somatic work. I was connecting in my body. I was learning about my nervous system. I was building awareness of what was going on in my system when I would get dysregulated. And when I would get dysregulated, I was building tools to support myself in that dysregulation, to bring myself to a baseline, to regulate myself again. And this is such a key piece. I don't think we can ever just go on medication. Like nothing is going to get healed. Nothing is going to change just going on medication. We also need to be supplementing it with deeper healing work, with building awareness of what's going on within ourselves. The medication will only be a Band-Aid if we are not actually going deeper and learning how to support ourselves, doing the inner healing work. And that's what I did over those 2 years. I connected with my body. I began to listen. I began to understand what was going on within myself. I went to deeper pieces that were causing dysregulation in my system. I began going deeper with my triggers, because it is our triggers that dysregulate us. And the medication really allowed me to go to those deep places. And then early this year, 2024, I knew that it was time to come off. I got that feeling again. Intuitively, I was like, it's time. And so I began my journey coming off my medication. And there were some really important tools that allowed me to do this. Because, here's the thing. I understand why doctors say, be careful coming off the medication, because it is so strong. And I think this is the case with a lot of medications that they make. Some can be very highly addictive. And there is a reason why I think a lot of doctors don't prescribe an out from this medication, because it can be so hard to get off them, because it can be so hard on the system. And so I very much needed certain tools to get off. One was the somatic work that I had already been doing. 2, parts work, which was part of the somatic work, working with the parts that show up within ourselves when we don't feel safe. Knowing how to work with these parts that try to protect us, that create protective mechanisms to try to keep us safe, that don't always feel good, but do, in a sense, keep us safe in what we've always known. And these parts can look like perfectionism. These parts can look like shutting down. These parts can look like addiction. These parts show up to keep us safe. And sometimes we can think that they are parts that derail us or parts that self-sabotage. I've actually learned how to look at them in a much different way. When these parts show up within us, they are trying to keep us safe. They are trying to protect us. And so I needed to learn how to work with those parts. And that was a big tool in coming off the medication, because coming off the medication will dysregulate us. And so knowing how to support our systems in the weaning off is so important. So important. 3, combo. This is a medicine that I worked with a very specific practitioner. If you are local to the Vancouver area, message me. I can send you her information. Her name is Aga. She is a godsend. She's one of my angels. Amazing. It's funny, I looked at the timestamp when I said that, 11:11. Combo is a beautiful medicine that I learned how to work with her support and help in weaning off the medication, because what it does, so if you don't know what combo is, it is the this is going to sound funny even trying to explain it, the secretion on the back of I think it's a Peruvian jungle forest, from a frog, from very local, remote places in the Peruvian jungles. And I'm probably not even explaining this properly, but she's so trained in all of this. And combo is a really beautiful medicine. I highly recommend checking it out. There's nothing psychedelic about it. It is a full body purge. And so when you take this medicine and it's administered in a very specific way, there is a complete process to this that she has learned over the years. And there are lots of combo practitioners out there. She's the one that I worked with. You purge everything. And so what it does is when you have it put on your body, and I still got marks on my skin. So you actually get burn marks put onto your body, and they're little scars now. I've done it 7 or 8 times. And so you get it put on your body, little burn marks, and then the medicine gets put on. And what it does is it goes into your system. It completely flushes your system. So you feel this activation, everything like sweats, your heartbeat starts to go up, your breathing increases, and then your system completely shuts down. And in that process, there is a massive purging that occurs. So it's a complete dysregulation of the system. And then sometimes you can throw up, sometimes you can purge in other ways. And then afterwards, your body goes into complete regulation. Sometimes you can sleep for a really long time, or you go into very deep meditative states. But the idea is that you purge anything that is creating disruptions in your system. So combo can be used not just in getting off antidepressants, it can be used in working with chronic illness. So you can't really see my face that well. It can be used in working with chronic illness. It can be used in working with depression, anxiety, any type of mystery diseases that you might have. It is a beautiful medicine. And I used it over the course of weaning off my medication over the course of like 4 or 5 months. I did it about 6 or 7 times. Maybe it was 5 or 6 times, because I'd done it a couple times before that. And so I would take the combo, and then I would slowly come down on the dosage of a medication, and I would not feel any effects of the weaning off. Crazy. They don't talk about this in the doctor's office. And I think it's also because there haven't been enough tests and stuff done, but it is becoming more well known. So I highly recommend looking into that medicine. And if you find a safe practitioner, whether you're coming off antidepressants or wanting to work with chronic illness, chronic pain, anxiety, depression, skin conditions, eczema, psoriasis, any autoimmune, highly recommend. So combo was very, very, very helpful. And I will say that when I fully came off my antidepressants, I did the combo. I noticed when it was the last dosage and I was fully coming off, I did notice a shift, but that was where even more my somatic work and my parts work became such a key piece. Getting out into the forest, being outside, fresh air, daily movement. All of these tools played such an important part. And it has been, well, since July, I fully came off. So August, September, October, November, It's been over 4 months since I have been fully off my medication, and I'm not looking back. I just got a ringing in my ear when I said that. I'm so grateful that I trusted myself, that I have this connection to my intuition, that I listened, that I trusted, that I did what I know I needed to do in going on the medication to heal the deeper pieces, and then coming off the medication when I knew it was time. And so this is for you. If you are on medication and you want to get off, if you're thinking about going on medication because intuitively there's something in you saying, I should do this. One, know that that piece within you is speaking to you for a reason. Listen. If you are going to go on medication, use other tools as well to supplement that so that you can go deeper with whatever that piece is. The medication will only be a Band-Aid if you are not going deeper with some of the pieces that are asking you to go onto the medication to create a baseline or to help you get to a place so that you can explore other options. We can't actually heal from medication. I truly believe any type of medicinal drug, it's a Band-Aid, but it's an important one. And if you're feeling the call to maybe look at coming off of it, listen to yourself, and also allow yourself to explore alternative supports because they are there. And you're not supposed to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. And that was a big piece on my journey, is learning how to receive support, learning how to receive help. So I hope that this can help you in any way. I will also say that this is beautiful support that I provide in the work that I do with clients, whether it is helping you receive answers, clarity, guidance on your path in my one-to-one soul readings, in your Akashic records. This is more of a soul journey support, helping you find answers for your soul journey, or an intuitive guidance session with spirit. It helps you connect with your spirit team, helps you receive guidance and answers for your path right now and moving forward. My one-to-one soul coaching sessions. This is where we tap into deeper pieces within you, help you create safety within yourself, help you hear your intuition, connect you to your body, move through any resistance, triggers, emotions that are showing up to help you move forward on your path. In a sense, it's to help you feel so empowered within yourself and in your life and on your path. It's like the creme de la creme of what I do with clients is my soul coaching. And then I also offer a membership. And this is more of an all-around support. It is more cost affordable. A monthly membership where we meet up once a week in community. You also receive daily support in our online chat community. And I also provide guided meditations that you can access daily. And that's in our Soul Empowered community. So lots of different options. Let me know if you need help. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. I'm making this video to help you see that, one, you're not in this alone. Two, you have the power within you to do anything that you desire or want in your life. And trust yourself. I'm here if you need the support.